Hello, welcome to Health Bites. Today we're going to begin with a Bible verse. Galatians 6:7 says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." When we disobey nature's laws, we reap unnecessary pain, disability, disease, expense, and even death. And we can see this all around us, since the leading causes of death in the U.S. are mostly due to poor lifestyle choices and can for the most part be avoided by following a healthy lifestyle. Today, we will look at a very important component of our lifestyle, nutrition. It is sad that is the standard American diet that is to blame for many of the health problems in the U.S. today. Americans eat too much sugar, animal fat, animal protein, cholesterol, salt, calories, and we eat too often. We also eat too little fiber, fresh fruits, whole grains, and too little vegetables. Well, in an effort to improve the nation's health, and specifically our diets, the USDA has issued a food pyramid which is based on the USDA Dietary Guidelines for Americans. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans are science-based statements that provide advice about food choices and physical activity to promote health and prevent disease. More specifically, they recommend to focus on fruit. So they say eat a variety of fruits, whether it's fresh, frozen, canned, or dried. So eat your fruits. Then you want to vary your veggies. Eat a wide array of vegetables, all the colors of the rainbow, the green leafy vegetables, the orange vegetables, so on and so forth. Also, you want to get your calcium-rich foods. And you know, that's not just talking about dairy products, but a lot of vegetables, the green vegetables, have a lot of calcium. For example, kale and broccoli, they're rich in calcium. And they also say, the USDA says, to make half your grains whole. So they are focusing on whole grains and not refined grains. And then they say to go lean with protein. They suggest not only to choose lean meats, but to vary your protein choices with more beans, peas, nuts, and seeds. In other words, plant-based protein. I want you to notice that these dietary guidelines emphasize a plant-based diet. And it is exciting for me to see that current science supports what has been in the Bible for thousands of years. God knows what food is best for us because, of course, He is the one who created us. Well, let's take a look at the designer's diet. God's ideal diet for us is a plant-based diet. We find in Genesis 1:29, it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat," or for food. So the original diet outlined at creation was fruits, nuts, and legumes. The first modification on the original diet plan was given when Adam and Eve were excluded from the Garden of Eden. Genesis 3:18 says, "And thou shalt eat the herb of the field," the plants of the field, or the vegetables. Well, what does modern science say about plant-based diets? It is the position of the American Dietetic Association that appropriately planned vegetarian diets, including total vegetarian or vegan diets, are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. Well-planned vegetarian diets are appropriate for individuals during all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, and adolescence, and for athletes. And were you aware that plant foods are the primary source of nutrition for most of the world? And vegetarian diets are healthier not only for people, but for our planet as well. Well, there have been many famous vegetarians, including some brilliant minds, such as Albert Einstein. He said, it is my view that the vegetarian manner of living would most beneficially influence the lot of mankind. It always seemed to me that man was not born to be a carnivore. Well, other famous vegetarians include Benjamin Franklin, Henry Ford, John Wesley, Martin Luther, the German church reformer, the founder of Protestantism, and Leonardo da Vinci. There was a British study that found that having a high IQ as a child is significantly linked to being a vegetarian as an adult. We also know that vegetarian diets are often associated with a number of health advantages, including lower blood cholesterol levels, lower risk of heart disease and hypertension. And actually, a total vegetarian diet can not only prevent, but can reverse type 2 diabetes. Vegetarians tend to have a lower body mass index, so they're going to be leaner, and they have a lower overall cancer rate. Also, vegetarianism may help to prevent or treat kidney disease, and vegetarians have less risk of osteoporosis. Now, I want to cover some basic guidelines for planning a vegetarian diet. Number one, you want to eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, legumes, seeds, and nuts. And number two, choose a variety of whole grain products, such as whole wheat bread, brown rice, whole grain cereals instead of refined grains. Be adventurous. Try quinoa, barley, rye, oats. There's so many. Guideline number three, include plant protein sources. So use plant sources such as nuts, seeds, legumes, and soy. Guideline number four, if you use dairy products, use non-fat or low-fat varieties. But consider that a total vegetarian diet, which does not include dairy products, provide added protection against certain diseases and can actually reverse heart disease and type 2 diabetes. It is true that cow's milk is wonderful food for calves, but even they are eventually weaned from their mother's milk. So you may want to try healthier substitutes such as soy milk or rice milk or almond milk, soy cheeses. There's many options. Guideline number five, keep empty calorie foods to a minimum. So this means the sweets and high-fat foods such as salad dressings, cooking oils, chips, and other fatty snacks and soft drinks. Foods with a lot of calories, but not a lot of nutrients. Guideline number six is to limit fat, sugar, and salt. So you want to include naturally sweet foods such as dried fruits rather than refined sugars. And we are instructed in the Bible in Leviticus 3:17 to avoid animal fat. So we want to choose healthier sources of fat such as olives, nuts, and avocados rather than refined fats and oils. Of course, we want to keep all this in moderation and use salt sparingly. Number seven, eat a good breakfast, moderate lunch, and a light supper. For a healthier alternative to ready-to-eat breakfast cereals, you can try to make your own granola with nuts and dried fruits. I have a very tasty and easy granola recipe that I have made available to your seminar host, so be sure to pick one up. You can have a bowl of this granola with skim milk or soy or rice milk, fresh fruits, whole grain toast, and peanut butter, and you're ready to face the day. Incidentally, what should be the ingredients in peanut butter? Peanuts and maybe salt, but that's it. Next time you buy peanut butter, look at the ingredients and you'll find that most peanut butters are full of other ingredients that really don't need to be there. So I recommend that you buy natural peanut butter or freshly ground peanut butter, or you can ground your own peanuts. And guideline number 8, allow at least 4 to 8 hours between meals and eat meals at about the same time each day. So leaving enough time between meals allows your digestive system to rest and be more efficient. It usually takes about 4 to 5 hours for food to leave your stomach. So for this reason, you want to not eat between meals. So does a vegetarian diet provide all of the necessary nutrients? Yes. The key is to be sure to eat enough calories to meet energy needs and include a wide variety of foods. You may be asking, well, what about protein and calcium? There are some nutrients that deserve special consideration when planning a vegetarian diet. For example, protein. Plant sources of protein alone can provide adequate amounts of the essential amino acids if a variety of plant foods are consumed and energy needs are met. If you think about it, 1 cup of beans has 15 grams of protein, 2 slices of bread have 6 grams of protein. That's a total of 21. And keep in mind that the average man, his protein needs is about 56 grams of protein a day. So it's very easy to meet your protein needs with just plant-based foods. You don't need to combine specific foods within a meal, because if you eat enough calories and eat a variety of foods through the day, plant protein will add up. Well, what about calcium? Many plant foods contain calcium. Some good sources include dark leafy greens such as kale and mustard or collard greens, and broccoli, and even legumes, peas and beans, tofu that's prepared with calcium, and fortified soy milk or rice milk. Also, when you eat less animal protein, less calcium is lost, so you will retain more calcium. Okay, what about iron? You can get iron from dried beans and dark green vegetables, blackstrap molasses, and pumpkin seeds, and nuts and whole grains. Note that foods that are high in vitamin C, such as citrus fruits and juices and tomatoes, strawberries, these foods, the vitamin C helps the body to absorb iron from plant sources. It is interesting to note that the incidence of iron deficiency anemia is not any higher in vegetarians when compared to meat eaters. Vitamin B12 you can get from fortified breakfast cereals or fortified yeast or soy analogs, or you can take a supplement. And vitamin D you can get from fortified foods and fortified soy milk, but the best source is sunshine, because the body produces vitamin D after exposure to sunlight. So if you get sunshine 10 to 15 minutes on your hands and face 2 to 3 times a week, that may be sufficient. The omega-3 fatty acids you can get from flax seeds and walnuts. So it's very easy to meet these nutrients with just plant-based sources. Will a plant-based diet or plant-based foods make me tiny and puny? You may be asking. Well, just consider that the largest land mammal, that's an elephant, is a vegetarian. Well, have you ever thought of when we get to heaven, what will be served at the Master's table? We know that it will be a vegetarian spread because there will be no death there. Revelation 22, 1 and 2 gives us a glimpse of our diets in heaven. It reads, "And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." Good health depends on a good diet. And God is so good to instruct us on how to take care of these bodies, which were bought at such high a price. and He has promised to give us the power to change and become new creatures in Him. So, whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Until next time, friends, may you live longer, happier, and healthier the way your Creator intended it.